Welcome to the TAC Index AI podcast, January 22, 2026, where we blend TAC IP data, reports, and charts with the latest news in all things logistics with a focus on air cargo.
And we have a really strange week to unpack.
It's a weird one, right? The global numbers, they look exactly like you'd expect for late January.
Yeah.
But when you zoom in,
The individual hubs are telling completely different stories. It's a mess of contradictions, really.
you've got rates just falling off a cliff in some places while others are holding steady.
And then airlines are fighting this vicious turf war on the ground, but at the same time, they're running out of engines to even put on their planes.
Okay, so let's start with a headline number, because on the surface, it's almost boring.
The Baltic Air Freight Index, the BAI 0,
Exactly. It dropped 3.3% for the week ending January 19th.
which is, standard operating procedure. We're
Yeah.
deep in that post-holiday hangover.
The Christmas rush is cleared, returns are done, volume goes down. No surprise.
Nobody's shocked by that.
But I was digging into the BAI 50, that's the Chicago index, and wow, that is not a normal seasonal dip.
No, it plummeted.
It's down 14.8% in a single week.
It's stark. And if you zoom out to the year-over-year view, it gets even worse. Chicago is down nearly 38.2% from where it was last year.
That's almost a 40% haircut. I think I know why, though. This has to be belly capacity returning, right?
Precisely. It's a supply-side shock.
We're seeing reports that United Airlines is just flooding O'Hare with flights right now.
They are. They're seeing a huge surge in corporate travel bookings for Q1, so they're putting more metal in the sky out of their main hub.
And more suits in seats means.
Significantly more belly space for cargo, especially on those big trans-Pacific routes to Southeast Asia, which is where we're seeing the steepest rate drops.
So shippers get cheaper rates because the consultants are flying again. That's wild.
That's the short version, yeah.
Is Europe seeing that same kind of glut?
Not quite to the same extent. Frankfurt and London Heathrow, they both shed about 7.5% this week.
Okay, so that tracks more with the general market cooling off.
Right. But look at the yearly comparison. Heathrow is actually up 1.6% compared to last year.
Well, Frankfurt is down double digits. That tells me the UK market has a kind of floor that the continent doesn't right now.
It seems that way.
What about China? Chinese New Year is so late this year, mid-February, I think. I assume we aren't seeing any kind of pre-holiday rush yet.
Correct. Shanghai dipped about 2.2%. There's no mini peak at all.
Usually we'd be in the thick of it by now.
Yeah, the calendar just shifted everything to the right. We do expect some of that pre-holiday food restocking to kick in any day now, but for the moment, it's quiet.
Okay, let's circle back to that United situation in Chicago. It's not just them adding flights. They're basically picking a fight with American Airlines over gate space.
It's remarkably aggressive. I mean, United's CEO is effectively drawing a line in the sand.
A line in the sand.
He is refusing to let American win a single gate at O'Hare at their expense in 2026. They're betting the house on this corporate travel comeback.
But here's the problem with betting on more flights. You need working airplanes.
And that is not a guarantee.
Not at all, based on the news from IATA and CFM International this week.
This is the invisible crisis hanging over the whole industry. IATA just renewed their agreement with the engine giant, CFM, through 2033.
It sounds like a boring contract update, but it's really a reaction to this. Desperate shortage of engines and parts.
It is. I saw the figure that this shortage added nearly $6 billion to airline costs last year.
Billions with a B.
And that $6 billion is just the direct cost. The real pain is the opportunity cost.
What do you mean?
Well, airlines bought all these new high-tech aircraft specifically to unlock, 15% fuel savings. But if you can't get the engines,
Or if the new engines need maintenance twice as often.
you have to keep flying the old gas guzzler.
So it's a double whammy. You're paying for expensive maintenance on new planes that aren't even flying, and you're paying top dollar for jet fuel on old planes you wanted to retire.
Exactly. And with jet fuel prices being so volatile, missing out on that 15% efficiency gain is just devastating to the bottom line. It almost negates the revenue from those full cabins we just talked about.
At least the macro picture gave us a little relief this week. The market seemed happy that the U.S. and Europe avoided a trade war over that Greenland framework deal.
Stability is always good for logistics. If tariffs are off the table, trade lanes stay predictable. But frankly, that's a pretty small comfort when you look at these operational headwinds.
So let's recap the reality check here. Chicago rates are crashing because passenger capacity is back in a big way.
Right. But the very airlines providing that capacity are bleeding billions because of an engine shortage.
A shortage that's stopping them from saving money on fuel.
It sets up this fascinating tension for the rest of the first quarter. You should really be asking, if carriers are squeezed between plummeting cargo yields in key hubs and skyrocketing maintenance costs, how long before they have to cut capacity again just to protect their margins?
Until next time.